name is Ernest Miller. I'm a chef, a historian, and educator. I specialize in California food history. I love California food history because California is the greatest food region in the world. So I'm here in Ventura talking about California food stories. A lot of the stories I've been talking about are from Southern California near LA or something. But this is a Ventura County story, and it's one of the greatest stories ever. Why? Because I love this fruit. I try to put this fruit in practically everything I eat. And so the major commercial center for this fruit in the late 1800s was right here in Ventura County, California. So in 1769, the Spanish missionaries start coming to California and setting up the missions, setting up the pueblas, the presidias. And one of the early pioneering California families that came with Father Juniepo Rosera in 1769 settled in the city of Ventura, what is now the city of Ventura. And eventually they build an adobe, and that adobe is a California state historic landmark. Many generations later, however, one of the great-great-great-grandchildren goes to visit New Mexico. And in New Mexico, he finds chilies. And New Mexico is still rightly famous for their chilies. But this fellow by the name of Emilio comes back to Ventura because he thinks the chilies will grow very well here in Ventura. And he's absolutely right. They do grow great. The only problem is, in the late 1800s, it's hard to ship the fresh green chilies. Now, you could let the chilies ripen until they're red and then dry them. And that's normally how they're sold. And you go to any grocery store nowadays, you can find dry red chilies and dried red California chilies. We'll get to that story in a second. But he loved that fresh flavor of that green chili. And who doesn't? Chili rellenos and rajas and all sorts of great recipes with fresh green chilies. And he had to figure out how to properly ship them. And he begins experimenting in his mother's kitchen to figure out a way how to get these chilies so they're easy to ship. And he figures it out. He's the first man to commercially can chilies. Of course, his first name's Emilio, but maybe you can guess his last name, Mr. Emilio Ortega. And he first commercially commands chilies, 1897. He's so successful that within a couple of years, he has to open a factory down in Los Angeles to keep up with demand. And he has to get more farmers to grow these chilies. So he provides seeds to some of his friends who are farmers down in Southern California. And the chili they grow that they're going to can for Mr. Ortega becomes famous on its own right and takes the name of a city down in Southern California. Of course, I'm talking of the famous Anaheim chili, which is a direct descendant / cousin of the famous Hatch, New Mexico chilies. But every time you eat a canned chili or a canned salsa or anything that has chili in it, remember that it was a Californian, Mr. Ortega, who was the first one to do it. And if you get the chance, go and visit his family's adobe in the city of Ventura. Not too far away from the mission, not too far away from City Hall, but a California State historic landmark and part of California's great food heritage.